What up? What up? What's going on? It's your boy Rich. Real Talk with Rich is back. We in the building one more again. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are going to join us tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is not necessarily a scheduled show. It is Sunday night, but decided to pop on in. I wasn't really initially going to do a show tonight, but I feel like I need to be here so I don't get fined. so, but real talk. Uh, you know, there's a lot going on. And so, as much as I want to take this break, I decided that it's better for me to be here for at least an hour or so. So, with that said, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button and hit the notification. So when we go live, you know where we are. What's going on, Groovy Faye? Good to see you. Robin Monroe Jr., what up? What up? So, yeah. Gordon, what's good? What's good? So, yeah, we here. And like I said, we're gonna do a show. Don't really have a whole lot going on. Just gonna talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that. No news tonight. It's gonna be more of a AMA type show. That means, basically ask me anything. So whatever you guys want to talk about, that's kind of what we're gonna do. And I'll be honest with you. If we don't talk about too much, I won't be here long. But if you got something that you want to discuss, chop it up, discuss whatever it is. I'm all ears, and that's what's up. So anyway, as I said, like, share, and subscribe. Please, please, please share this video, share this live. Tell a hater, tell a friend. We don't care. It's Black Comic Law. This is what we do. So with that said, guys, what's going on? So to get into the conversation itself, I did get a chance to watch the first two episodes of The Acolyte, and I will say that I enjoyed it for what it was. Was it the best thing since sliced cheese? Clearly not. And unfortunately, until it gets better, it's going to be viewed as, a JAS type deal. You might ask me, what does just JAS mean? Just another show. What will, I guess, propel it from being just another show is when they add a little bit more intrigue. You're two episodes in, and while it could be definitely a lot better, it has definitely been decent. It's not terrible, but it's decent. And just say I'm waiting till the season is done. Well, like I said, I don't know how long the season is, but I think it was cool for what it was. I like Amandla Steinberg. I like her portrayal of the twins. That's been kind of cool to see her do that. You know what I'm saying? She's pulling double duty. So it's going to be interesting to see how they make that work later on. Kofi says, not going to lie, not a big Star Wars fan. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't think that this is actually Star Wars type material. It's got ships. It's got all kind of different things that kind of give you, quote unquote, the Star Wars feel, but it's not really a Star Wars. And I think part of that is because it's a New Republic show. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this is like the modern age of Star Wars. So we're not going to get the nostalgia that some people are looking for. Some people don't think that this stuff that's coming out, or whether it's comics or whether it's movies or TV shows, is not their Star Wars. Star Wars is 40 years old. It is what it is. Feel how you feel. I just think that, for the most part, it's okay. It's an okay show. So, saying I got me some popcorn, sat back, sipped on a little drink, and checked it out. And I get it. I thought it was cool for what it was. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of these guys that, I think when you look for something to be terrible, it becomes terrible to you. So I think people are fronting a lot when they said it, oh, it's just not a good show or it's horrible or whatever. Some people you cannot please at all. It doesn't matter what you do. George Lucas could come back and write the next 6 movies or whatever, and Star Wars nerds will find something to complain about with it. So that's not going to happen. But at the same time, it's kind of like, enjoy it for what it is. Consume it. You know what I'm saying? You don't like it, so what? It's Star Wars. It's another show. It could get better, but it depends. it depends on what you guys want. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes. What's good to see? Good to see you, King Sigma. That's good to see you, sir. Kofi, what's happening? Kofi says they would. Let's see. What does he say? They would be like. They would be like, did George go woke? Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, Star Wars has always been woke. It's not that this quote unquote wokeness that they're complaining about now, but man, please. 1977, people act like it was some kind of golden age. It really wasn't. There was a lot of stuff going on at the time. It was a franchise that got started in the middle of a political things. There was things going on in the soul of the country that reflected that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The 70s were bizarre. Don't let nobody tell you, someone who grew up in the 70s, someone who lived through that or whatever, I can tell you that as cool as it was very bizarre. So Star Wars came out of that 1977, and again, it goes into the 80s with Reagan and the Bush family and all of that, and trust and believe. Star Wars has always been quote unquote woke. I think people just do not like when their wokeness is not, applied. Because trust and believe, some of these fanboys, they would lose it if they could have things to quote unquote the way they want. But they're not doing movies for these guys. They recognize what the future is. The future is brown. The browning of America. So y'all hold on to your hats. Learn some Spanish or some Mandarin. In the future, you're gonna need it. Mine says that this is why I love Thrawn books. It's an original approach to a very tired storyline. Yeah, I love Thrawn. Thrawn is a character. The Thrawn books are pretty cool. The thing about the Star Wars universe stuff, it's so expansive. And, as I've been one to I'll read the Thrawn. I've read some of the Thrawn books. I'm a Sith guy. So anything on the Sith I like to read. So this is a cool show for me in that this is the first time the Sith are kind of going to be kind of like out front. Now, we don't know who's the bad in this thing other than, May, I think that's her name. But who's the one that's pulling the strings with her? We don't know who that is. Now, some people think that person has already been revealed. I'm not one of those people, but I will say that that's the way it's supposed to be. The Sith are supposed to play in the shadows, because this is the time when the Sith are not prevalent. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of Sith just running around. This is why the language in the show itself is not even. They haven't even invoked the word Sith at all. They're just wondering who trained you, that kind of thing. They know it's somebody that's trained in the Jedi arts or whatever, which is weird to me. They never say the Sith arts, they say the Jedi arts. So it doesn't matter if they're a Sith or a Jedi, it's always the Jedi arts. It's conspiracy theory. But anyway. I'm not spoiling nothing. I haven't spoiled anything, Paul. I haven't done that, man. But yeah, so let's see what we got here. Kobe says the only bad thing that happened this month, comic-wise, is that Philadelphia 35 has been delayed. Well, it's okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of dope stuff to read, man. I mean, yeah, I would have loved to have Philadelphia come out this, for it to be late. But there's a lot of good books out there. The book, since we're comic book, let's talk comic books. um, the what is this? I'm sorry, losing my mind. Here we go. Profane. This is a pretty cool read. I enjoyed this book for what it was. It's almost it has a what's the name of that movie? It's a movie that came out years ago where it's like your dream is having a dream. You're dreaming about a dream. I can't think of the name of the movie. It escapes me right now, but Inception, I think that's the name of it. But basically, this is a murder mystery uh, that has a black character in it, and his name is Profane. And it's kind of intriguing how it's playing out. It's almost like a story within a story, if that makes any sense. So that's a Boom Studios pickup. So if you have not picked that up, I recommend that you go get that as well. My favorite read this week, though, was Robin the Boy Wonder by Junie Ba. Junie Ba ain't no joke. That dude is the business. This book here, and this issue here, this is issue 2. This issue 2 focuses on Red Hood. And he basically just tells a story about Red Hood and his relationship with Robin. And it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I love Junie Ba's art. It's amazing in this particular book. There's not a whole lot of words in this book, but for the words that Junie Ba chooses to use in communicating, whether Damien's talking to Jason Todd or whatever, it's pretty spot on. And what I love about Junie Ba is Junie Ba can take few words and say so much in few words, in few phrases. So that's been a dope book, man. Shout out to my man Imani. He knows. Boy, one day no joke. So Go in My House at Inception. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed that. Enjoyed Batman 148, I think this is. Yeah, Batman versus Batman. This was pretty entertaining. Had the whole Bat family in it. The Signal is in here. He makes an appearance, but he doesn't get no real major time. I'll say it like that. But the Signal is in this book. So basically, Bruce Wayne, or should I say Batman, is basically fighting himself. His alter ego, or a creation that he made called Burning Zod, it got into the Failsafe robot. And so Failsafe been running roughshod over everything and everybody. And so they kind of, lock horns in this particular issue. It's pretty fun, action-filled issue. So anytime Batman is wrestling with himself, I'm here for that. So yeah, that was pretty cool as well. So Kofi says Midnight Suns #1 was good too. Yeah, Midnight Suns came out last week. Yeah, that was a pretty good book. Have enjoyed that for sure. I did buy my first disappointing Blood Hunt book, and it was disappointing because it was not necessary. That's the thing about the Blood Hunt tie-in series. They're going to have some tie-ins that are just not necessary, or at least it appears to be not necessary. So I'm not going to poo-poo and say don't buy this book because it's not necessary. But what I will say is that you can look for things that are going to be like strands that probably will not be used till later on. And it just so happens I bought this particular book, and I'm not going to give it away because I don't want to stop anybody from buying certain things or whatever. So suffice to say that I did buy a book, and I read the book, and it was cool for what it was, but it was kind of like, after I finished reading, it was kind of, this is kind of like a parking lot type deal, where it's like, we got this story, we're going to put it over here though, and just hold on, we'll address this at a later date. So, and you got to expect that with certain tie-ins or whatever. Some certain tie-ins don't make no sense. I'm not gonna say that this one doesn't, but at the same time, it's kind of like, they could have cut this one. You know what I'm saying? They could have trimmed the fat at that. But we're only a few issues in when it comes to the Blood Hunt stuff, so we'll see. We'll definitely see. It said minus is Batman's Ultron. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what Failsafe is for sure. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that came out. You know what I'm saying? This week was he says this Batman arc so far as good as the debut of Failsafe. It's been okay. I mean, you know, I think that the Failsafe thing was kind of ridiculous. I enjoy the Failsafe character, but when he threw Batman from the moon, I kind of like, okay, y'all just doing way too much, DC. So I kind of left the book after that for a minute, and I came back, of course. But this story arc has been pretty good. And actually, it closes out this. From what I can tell from reading 148, it's the end of this arc. But here's the thing about that: Amanda Waller has one panel in this particular story. We do know that Absolute Power starts up in July. And so she makes an appearance in this story almost as like a prelude. It's not like she's reporting something or she's helping Batman with something, but it's more or less kind of like she's in the shadows, just kind of watching stuff. So that was kind of cool to see in this issue. He says, let me guess, is it the Dracula? No. The Dracula Blood Hunt's been good. The Dracula Blood Hunt's been good. So, for real. So yeah. There's a lot going on as, you know, as far as comics and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing some hunting of late, and so I've been able to grab a few books here and there. Let me see. I'll share. I'll share some stuff I picked up in a hunt. So, and actually, this is the book I got to in when I was hunting. This Marvel Fanfare. This is Marvel Fanfare number 60, and this is actually the last Fanfare book, the last issue of this book. And of course, it's got T'Challa on the cover. Dennis Calvin is the artist on the inside. There's 3 stories in this book. The first story is the T'Challa story, and or the Black Panther story. And so yeah, I picked this up while I was hunting. So how do y'all? I'm an old school dude. What up, Bo Big? What happening? Catch you on the replay, Rich. Stopping by to show support, respect. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Please, y'all, Bo Big set it off. So y'all, please support the channel. So, now I'm the type of person when I hunt. So who's hunting for that Superboy Tyrock book? Look, it makes no sense to get the Superboy Tyrock book unless it's a 9/8. We know that there was a record that posted 9/8 went for 5,600, I think it was. That's crazy. That's insane for that book. In my opinion, I have multiple copies of it. Do I have anything close to a 9/8? I don't think so. I think I may have a 9.2, maybe a 9.0, but a 9/8, don't have that. But people are hunting for that book. That's Superboy and the Legion of Heroes 216. That's the first appearance of Tyrock. Y'all go out there and get that. Get out there in them bloody waters if you want to. What up, JT? What's happening? C. Cole says I already own that book and it's signed by Mike Grell. Okay, that's what's up. Mike Grell's one of my favorite artists. Yep, shout out to him. So as you know, and when I hunt, I'm a book dragon, okay, which means that I have multiple copies of books or whatever, certain books if I like or whatever, I'm gonna buy it. So I picked this one up as well. This is old school. This is a Krull. Krull #1. Remember the movie Krull? So I picked this up as well in the hunt. And that was one of my favorite, sci-fi movies growing up. So I had to pick that up. Let's see what else I got here. This Conan. I have multiple copies of this Conan here, Conan and Destroyer, which has the Zulu on it or whatever, which is interesting because in the comic books, Zula is a man, but they race swapped her in the movie. But she's here at the movie adaptation as Zula. So, yeah. So I picked that up. I picked up a full run or full 4 issues of Strange Fruit by Mark Waid. This is a pretty interesting read. Nothing groundbreaking, but I just dig these covers or whatever. J.G. Jones and Mark Waid, Strange Fruit. So this is Rich. Where do you get your storage boxes for comics? I mean, sometimes I either get them at the shop or I order them through Amazon. Amazon was probably the best way to get books. I mean, get boxes, depending on, you can get like 5 short boxes for maybe like $30, $35 or whatever. Because you go to a shop and a short box or whatever, or a long box is gonna cost you at least $8 to $10. You can get some places cheap as many maybe as $7, but usually from like $7 to $10 is how much you're gonna pay for a box. But you can get yours through Amazon, of course. They'll deliver right to your door, or they'll deliver to whatever designated place you want to send it to. But that's where I normally will go, is to Amazon. Now, if I'm in a pinch and I know I got some books I need to bag and board, and I got to store some stuff real quick, then I'll run to the shop and I'll get one through there. But I try to order my stuff in bulk. So, yeah. He says, I picked up a copy of Strange Fruit #1 a few months ago. Reefer One says, tap that like button. That's what's up. Please do. Please do. So I got that. Here's an interesting thing. Shout out to all you Matt Baker fans. This book here is called Jerry Iger's Flamingo. And this basically is a book. I'm sorry, got the glare. Matt Baker art, golden features. And this is a book from 1986. And it basically has unpublished Matt Baker art in it. So if you are someone who digs Matt Baker, might want to pick this up. It's Flamingo, issue #1 from 1986. Unpublished Matt Baker work. So I got that. I love Black Panther stuff, especially when your guy Sanford Greene is doing it. So this Black Panther variant right here. This was clearly a cover by, because I already have these books, this run. I've always wanted this book. This was I guess you could say this is a variant. I never had it. Yeah, never had it, but I wanted this book. Ever since I saw it, I wanted it. And so I finally hunted down a copy in the shop. Yeah. This is Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther #2. Here's another Sanford Greene variant, Black Panther variant. Sorry for the glare. The glare is all over the place. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. For my Star Wars guys, here's a Star Wars Tales #5, which has Lando Calrissian stories. Star Wars Tales #5 of Lando Calrissian, or as we like to call him, Billy D. Billy D. Williams. Yeah, so got that. I picked this up, Hypno Hustler, and I got this for like $5, I think it was. That this book was going crazy for a little while ago. I don't know what the hype. I know people were talking about uh, Childish Gambino or Donald Glover, or being in the role of Hypno Hustler, but that was some crazy spec stuff going on with that. So yeah. So I had that. What else in here? Say what you want about T'Challa, but T'Challa's prominent on the cover. I'm gonna buy it. I'm not the biggest Black Panther fan. I always say that, but I love T'Challa when he's on covers. This is Avengers, Invaders, Giant Size. If he's on the cover, they're somewhere swinging things. Yeah. So we got that, and a few other things. So yeah. So that's what I've been doing lately. It's just been, in the shops hunting or whatever. Been not doing a whole lot of other stuff. But yeah. So while I'm here thinking about this, guys, let me show you something. Let me just reach for it in a second while I say this. And maybe Paul can bring up the slide. Last week on our Wednesday wrap-up show, we talked about a young man whose father had a collection that was robbed. The father passed away. This collection had been in his family's for generations. And so what we're doing as Black collectors is we're trying to help restart this young man's collection. His name is Makari. He's 4 years old. He lost his father. Father had a heart attack, I believe. And he left his son his collection. Someone stole the collection. So it touched the heart of some of our people in the comic book community. And so right now what we're doing is we're asking all collectors, anyone who cares, matter of fact, to donate a book or two, some grails, some keys, some comics that a little 4-year-old can read or whatever. We want to replenish this young guy's collection. You know what I'm saying? And this is a cool way to do it. So if you see the address on the screen, Makari Williams, care of Amy Williams, that's his mother. Please put together an AOK. An AOK is what we call a kind of like a gift pack where you put some comic books in it, just some different things. We want to show this young man some love. And our hashtag for is Black Comic Collectors Care. That's what we want to do for this young man. So if you do this, we want you guys to take a picture of the box you're going to send, put the hashtag on your social media, Black Comic Collectors Care, and just send an AOK, send a book or two. Now he's 4 years old, so if you want him to, send him something age appropriate in terms of go to your comic shop, ask your comic shop, give them send. They can Google this or research this actual telecast or from Fox News 5 in Las Vegas, Nevada. But if you share with them the information or whatever, ask them to make a donation. Donate some books and ship them out to this young man. And let's get his collection back up to snuff, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody did something low down, and so it's up to us to share this, this wonderful hobby that we have. We want you guys to just participate. I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna share with you a couple of books that I'm going. Yes, acts of kindness. I'm gonna share with you a couple of books. So please take down that information while I grab a couple slabs that I'm gonna send. And yeah. So all right. So this is the package or the content, some of the contents of the package that I'm going to send to the young man. I'm gonna send some slabs. I'm gonna send a couple of graphic novels. Well, not graphics, but trades, and I'm gonna send some floppies. And so I'm gonna pack them up and ship them out probably by the end of this week coming up. So I will share with you just the slabs. I asked the guys to give last week to make a sacrifice. A sacrifice isn't a sacrifice unless it hurts or you're gonna feel a pinch, if that makes any sense. But the reason why I asked guys to make a sacrifice like that is because anytime you have an opportunity to do something with someone that can't do something for you, it's a blessing in that all by itself. Um, just stepping outside of your comfort zone, or what I'm saying, parting ways with something that you know that you love, that you care about, but you want to be such a blessing that you're willing to part to make somebody else happy or to just be a blessing to someone else. So, and again, the kid is 4 years old, so he won't be able to enjoy some of this stuff until he gets older. But when he gets older, he'll have books in his collection that he can do whatever he chooses to do with. Wants to sell them, he'll sell them. If he wants to keep them, he'll keep them. But the whole idea is to try to maintain that generational wealth that his father intended for him. So he said, so I shouldn't send tribe, is what you're saying. No, I wouldn't necessarily. I don't know if I would send a tribe. I mean, again, the kid's 4 years old. You can do that, but I don't know if Roz is something that he need to be looking at 4 years old. But the whole thing is that he had books in his collection like Black Panther, Fantastic Four 52, Tomb of Dracula. He has some grails and keys in that collection. And so I'm not saying that, but the kid is 4 years old. And some of these books, these are books that he won't be able to read till he's older anyway. So you can send him some stuff that he can read now, and then you can send him some stuff that mom can lock away for when he's older, when he can enjoy it. So that you make your own discretion, own decision as to what you send. But I'm just telling you, understand the dynamics of that. You know what I'm saying? So, parental discretion is advised. So one of the keys I'm going to send is a Black Panther key. This Black Panther slab, here's a 9.2, Black Panther number 4. And this actually is the first appearance of the White Wolf and the Hatuzarazi. So I'm sending them this. And like I said, it's got to be a sacrifice. And so my favorite character, I'm going to send him a Black Lightning slab. And a 7-point Black Lightning number 1. I'm going to send this to him. So yeah. So these are the things that, me personally, that I want to send. And, I've had discussions with other collectors, and they're going to send some dope books. Trust and believe. This kid's going to have a dope collection when it's all said and done. We're going to be doing this for like 3 months, from what I understand. So there's no hurry to like put something together like yesterday or whatever. But we're going to try to maintain the information I was given. We're going to try to maintain the post office box for like 3 months. And so you have ample time to put together a care package. If you want to send them some Funko Pops or whatever, that's cool too. But he says, oh man, I'm gonna need a late pass. No, you don't need a late pass. We got like 70, 80 days to send this stuff off to this kid. So Paul, could you put the address right back up one more time? And we'll put it back up at the end of the show. But But that's the address right there. Macari Williams, care of Amy Williams, 5546 Camino El Norte, number 2, box 180, North Las Vegas, Nevada, 89031. So dig into your collection, make a sacrifice. I'll show some floppies I'm going to send. I'm going to send him also a Mr. Miracle, Mr. Miracle number 15, which is the first appearance of Shiloh Norman. Going to send him that. Going to send him some Miles Morales, this Ultimate Comics All-Star number issue 200 with Miles on the cover. I'm going to send him this, along with some other stuff. I got a stack of books that I'm going to send. And I'm also going to send him my favorite Spider-Man comic book, Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man number 35. I'm going to send him a copy of this and some other stuff. So I got a stack right here full of books, that I'm going to send. I'm going to send him a couple of trades. Dwayne McDuffie is my favorite, all-time favorite comic book writer. And so I'm going to send him Justice League of America, 2 Justice League of America trades of Dwayne McDuffie wrote. So I'm going to send him these trades too. So he'll have some things that he can read, and he'll have some things that'll be in his collection. You know what I'm saying? I had to make it kind of personal. That's why the stuff that I'm sending him to me is personal. So that's why I say make a sacrifice if you can. You know what I'm saying? If you got multiple copies of books in your collection, it'll be a blessing. Do what you can. So we want to do that, fellas. We really, really want to do that. Want to be a blessing to Macari and his mother. You know what I'm saying? Because that could be heartbreaking, man, for a father to amass a collection and to know that this at some point was going to, be a big blessing to him. If he chooses to cash it in or whatever, the Tomb of Dracula and the Fantastic Four 52 worth thousands of dollars, and someone stole them. That's just wrong, man. But what can we do? It's moments like these that we need to be able to reach out and help where we can. So we may not be able to do everything, but we can all do something. So yeah. So that's what's up. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We're gonna get you something to drink. We're gonna come back and we're gonna chop it up. We're gonna get out the way. So Paul, take us to commercial. We'll be right back, guys.
What's up, comic fam? It's your boy Paul with an exclusive look at a dope new section of our BlackComicLords.net website. Head to the site, click on Black Indie Comics for your selection of the dopest black comics around. And if you're a black comic creator and you want to be added to the site, send us your link with a copy of your logo so we can add it in there. But be patient. We're getting there. We're getting there. Much respect to all of you.
What's good, comic fam? I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with Concrete Comics, and I'm also pretty sure you guys are familiar with Freestyle Comics. Well, what if I told you they were partnering together and give you guys an amazing promo code? So listen, here's the deal. You go to any one of these websites, you're gonna save 20% off by using this promo code. Now, if you spend more than $50, you're gonna get free shipping. You can't beat this. And when I talk to you about industry standard or better storylines and art, I mean, you're really not beating Freestyle Comics. You're definitely not beating Concrete Comics. Listen, this is not a sponsorship. I've literally read all of these books and they're fire. So stop crying and start buying. Concrete Comics, Freestyle Comics, joining forces. Make sure you use this promo code. You're gonna get 20% off. You spend more than $50, you're gonna get free shipping. We out.
We back. Yeah, man, we back. So, please bear in mind, as Herschel said, stop crying and start buying. Black independent comics books have kind of made a surge in the past year. And so we're seeing a lot of creators out here doing their thing, man. And here at Black Comic Lords, we're just trying to do our part to prop them up and to help, facilitate, collectors getting some of these dope books in their collections. It's a thankless task at times, but we believe in it, and that's why we do it. We do both. We try to do both. We recognize that we cannot walk away fully from Marvel and DC because of all the history of Marvel and DC that has been a part of our childhood, been a part of us growing up. So we have to not forsake that as well as we go forward. We want to empower, but we also want to remember where we come from, if that makes any sense. Bring that back up again, brother. So I understand wanting to share a hobby with people, but when we create a social media channel, we're providing people with an inventory of what to steal. Here's the thing about that. We can only control what we can control. If I'm saying, I'm sharing what I'm going to send, that's one thing. I'm not telling anybody to share what they're saying. I was just showing you some books that I was going to send. I'm sending not just what I showed you, but some other stuff as well. But the point is that I don't want, if this makes any sense, and I'll use this analogy, and I'll tell people when they want to give, like if we have at my church, we'll have a clothing drive. I'll tell people, do not give what you will not wear. Period. It's not a place to dump your stuff. We want quality. So the part of me sharing certain things is I want this guy, this young kid, to get some quality stuff. But I definitely hear what you're saying. But we're doing this because it's the right thing to do. And we can't worry about what we cannot control. If we do what we're supposed to do, we have to leave the responsibility, accountability to those that it belongs to. But it can't be something that because that's the thing. If we just stop at all the what ifs, we'll never get anything done. So we got to get past that, not even think about that, because again, I get what you're saying, but it doesn't excuse us from doing what we can, which is what we're doing. So again, I get the sentiment, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants to track certain things, whatever, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, we got to spread the word, because I don't want this kid getting a bunch of books that I don't want. And in this situation, don't send what you don't yourself want. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah. Robin Monroe says that this is wait for a Black Image comic type revolution. Mm. So, the Brothers Whose Collection was stolen had a YouTube channel. Someone saw it, what he showed on his channel and went after it. Well, here's the truth about that, Robin. Without getting into that, somebody knew that family, and somebody knew where it was. That's why it happened the way it happened. That happened the way it happened. This brother who had this YouTube channel, he passed away. He just suddenly passed away. We share stuff or whatever, right? And we all have to kind of quote unquote trust and believe that everything's going to be all right. No one's going to come and break in and steal, because we share comic books all the time. But it's one of those things where we have to, like I say, do what we can, and we can't worry about what we can't do. Trust and believe there have been conversations behind the scenes regarding this, so something like that will not happen again. And that's all I can say about that. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, what's going on, Philly boy? Sexual chocolate in the building. Yeah. Jeremiah Handlin says, interesting conversation. Well, I mean, again, it's one of those things where we're just talking about helping someone. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You know, comics are a community, a small niche community. We consider ourselves a niche within a niche within a niche here at Black Comic Lords. Because we're not only we're comic collectors, but we're Black comic collectors, and we're Black comic collectors that collect Black comics. That puts us in a niche within a niche within a niche. We collect everything. Don't get it twisted. We collect everything, but we try to specialize, and we try to, pinpoint, and we try to be exact in certain things. So, opportunity like this to help somebody, another collector, a brother, his son. It goes without saying we should do something. Been around a few comic book heads, and I have gotten AOKs from people in this community that I'm always grateful for. And so when you have an opportunity to spread love or pass on the blessing, so to speak, that's what we should do. So that's what we're doing. Golden Monsters collectibles insurance. That's one way to definitely approach it. Now since you took it there, Gordon, let's get into that. Some of our collections should, if you have a collection that has a substantial price tag attached to it, you should have insurance. Absolutely, 100%. You need to have some insurance because your collection might not get stolen. You might have a fire. You might experience a hurricane or flood. Living in Houston, it floods. So, taking the time to okay, I'm going to collect these books. They're going to grow in investment. Certain books are going to grow in investment. Some books are not going to be worth the paper that, the ink that they're printed on. But you may have certain books in your collection that may have a substantial price tag attached to them. Those books should be insured. You should want to insure those books. That's just wisdom. And, again, lesson learned, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, when those of us who have collections, we kind of deal with this. We're not always going to be here, and our collections will wind up being burdens to those who we leave behind. Or it's like when you retire or whatever it is, who are you going to leave your collection to? That's and it's not a morbid thing. It's just it's grown man stuff. You got to get past your not wanting to think about when you're not here and just understand you're not always going to be here. That's facts. Ain't nobody getting out of this alive, okay? So if you know that, then take the steps, whether it's through insurance or through your will. When you will your collection off so your stuff doesn't get hung up in probate court. That's just all your natural stuff, your resources, period. Not just talking about comics, but not just talking about collectibles, just in general. If you're older, and I would say even you younger, get you a will. That's just the reality of life. People don't understand this until they have to go through it. I'll say it like that. If you ever experienced or talk to somebody that's ever had to wait for stuff to happen or pass through probate court, it ain't peaches and cream. I'll tell you like that. It's not. So, do the right thing, insure your collection. And again, all of these are just, cautionary tales and, lesson learned type of deals that we have to, as collectors, think about, you know what I'm saying? Because things happen. So yeah, some insurance is definitely in order, especially if you have, high dollar books. You know what I'm saying? If you're sitting on a Tomb of Dracula, if you're sitting on, shout out to J. Napoleon Winston, you're sitting on a dozen Evans or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That needs to be insured. So, and of course nobody wants to pay premiums for insurance or whatever, because it's like, say what you want about insurance. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Because trust, If you ever had a car hit you and they ain't had no insurance, man, yeah, it's not cool. Not cool. So yeah, please, please, please insure your collections. Insure your collections. There are a couple of insurance companies that you can go to. You can Google them online or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's real easy and simple. It's not a difficult process to insure your books. You know, some people are just like, I mean, some people are spending $50, $60, $100 a month on buying comic books. You ain't got $15, $20 a month to insure your collection. You know, we got to think about things like that too. So thanks for that, Gordon, because I sure wasn't even thinking about quote unquote that when all the situation was going down. You know what I'm saying? And again, you just don't know, and you can't police everybody's household or their budget or any of those type of things. And let's be honest, the way the economy is going right now, people are having less, discretionary funds to spend. So people are being more choosy in what they collect and what they consume. And so it's like, everybody's not a Wednesday warrior for that reason. Some people just go after big books, and that's fine. Collect what you love, is like we would like to say. Whatever you do, if you intend for these books to be around, you have to bag and board them. You have to protect them, keep them in cool, dry places, and all of these different things. This hobby can be very expensive, but it's more expensive when you don't take care of the things that you can do, like collectibles insurance. You know what I'm saying? That's a given. You know what I'm saying? But hindsight is 20/20 with that situation. So what we want to do is just be a blessing. So yeah. So what else we got up? What else is on your mind? Come on, get the likes up too, please. Please get the likes up. Like they say on some of these YouTube channels, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. So what else is going on, y'all? What else is going on? Y'all help me out. Talk to me. What are y'all reading? What are you enjoying? What has been a surprise? What has been whack? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. C. Cole says, I got some Blue Marvel info from Fan Expo this weekend. Okay, you was in Dallas? You was at the Dallas Fan Expo? That's what's up. Man, my life is so crazy. I forgot that Dallas Fan Expo was this weekend. And by the time I realized that it was here, it was today, and it was about 3 o'clock. And I said, man, I wish I could at least got out there, earlier. Maybe I got in some dollar bins or something. So what did you find out, bro? What'd you find out, C. Cole? Kofi says he hates that Blade is a villain now. Well, we don't know why. We don't really know why he's doing what he's doing. They have not yet revealed that. I'm staying away from all the solicits. And, I get these little magazines when I pick up my pulls and all that. I'm staying away from all that because I really don't want to know. I really don't want to know what's going to happen or what they expect in these books that's coming. I really want to be surprised in real time. Right now, it looks like he's the bad guy, for real. But it's got to be a reason why Blade is doing what he's doing. I don't want to get to this anticlimactic end because that's just going to make it whack if it goes out like that. It better not go out like that. So, yeah. C Cole says Marvel commissioned some Blue Marvel art, and the artist was selling the original art. It is for a project that they have not yet announced yet. Okay. Wow. Shout out to Kevin Greavy. Y'all hit Kevin Greavy up on his Facebook page. He's got Blue Marvel shirts for sale. And he also is selling Blue Marvel issue 1 autograph. Now, how much you want for it? That's y'all hit Kevin up and see. But yes, he has autographed copies of Blue Marvel, Adam the Legend of Blue Marvel #1 for sale. And he has Blue Marvel t-shirts as well. So hit him up. Tell him your boy Rich sent you. Yeah. So one of the podcasts says, did you talk about Jordan Peele's meeting with the MCU? No, I have not. Don't really know much about it, to be honest. Just kind of heard some rumblings, but that was been it. You know, what would Jordan Peele do in the MCU? You know, and I'm not saying he couldn't be, but that's just kind of weird to me. You know, what would he do? Okay. Reginald Hutton, Black Panther Omnibus is coming out February 2025. That's what's up. Lord of Brooklyn, what up? It says, I enjoyed Avengers Twilight finale, Batman World's Finest Beneath the Trees, but nobody sees finale. Yeah. He says, I know how much he wants for that #1. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a couple of zeros behind that first digit. Gordon says, I like that Blade is a villain. It is something different to explore. Kofi says they said it was for X-Men. He does a lot of watercolor because the project is announced. He has not done prints of it yet. K Jr. says, how do you feel about the Will Smith, Martin Lawrence being #1 at the box office? #the slap. Well, I really don't have a thought about it. I mean, it's funny. Shout out to my wife. We were having dinner at Razoo's, and we were just talking, and she asked me, did I want to see or was I going to see, as how she put it, are you going to see the Bad Boys movie? And I said, well, I didn't see the last one. So I had no real desire to go see it, the new one. I'm not surprised that it's #1. Will Smith had attained a level where he didn't have to really, this is prior to the slap. When it comes to movies, Will Smith did not do a lot of PR when it comes to movies. He would do the basic PR stuff for his films or whatever, and that would be it. We saw Will Smith and Martin Lawrence everywhere promoting Bad Boys. So he's having to do these things because of the slap to kind of get his face back out there, whatever. It is what it is. I've always been of the opinion that, he really wasn't going anywhere, and the Oscars may have done him a favor, you know what I'm saying? Because it's allowed him to kind of grow as a person, kind of see things differently, whatever. But am I just like rah Will Smith? No. I have no real interest in going to see it. I'll eventually will see it, I'm sure. Just like the last one. If I'm at the crib board or whatever, I may go see it. But I just really hadn't been into Bad Boys. I mean, I watched the first one and then the second one, and then I was done. Some franchises, it's a 1-2 punch. You don't have to keep coming back. It's hard to reinvent the wheel. If your name is not Vin Diesel, I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you in a car. I can see Vin Diesel in a car 10, 11 million times. I'm good with that. But anybody else, no. So yeah. He said, would be great if Jordan Peele took over the Blade film. Well, I think the problem with that would be is that he would literally stuff that thing with Easter eggs, and it won't be about Blade. It'll be about, did you see what he put in the movie? Did you see this? Did you see that? That's kind of the deal with Jordan Peele. You know what I'm saying? He did that with Us. He did that with Nope. He he does it with all his films. Get Out, of course. So it would be cool. I think it would be different for sure. But by the time the Blade film comes out, I think we're going to all be into something else. To be honest, I just think that they need to just pull the plug on that project and start over. Lord Brooks says he could do Ghost Rider. Perhaps. It says the artist. Okay. Philly Bourne says Bad Boys was a good movie. I enjoyed Lie. Did not see the last one either. Yep. I Am Legend 2 is going into production, so it seems he's no longer a pariah. I mean, look, the dude did what he was supposed to do in terms of trying to, he walked away for a while. And here's the thing. People are more forgiving when it comes to people that they like. If there's been someone, say, like Ezra Miller, he would be gone. They would tell him to stay gone. But because it's Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? This is I want some of you guys to understand. Somebody said in the Smooth Approach, he said Will Smith, King of Summer. For a few years, Will Smith was the dude every summer. Whether we're talking about Men in Black, I Am Legend, Hancock, this dude has kind of been, we've kind of watched him grow in this industry. From the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the hip hop stuff for sure. I remember when Will Smith was Parents Just Don't Understand. That was the jam. Then the Hollywood stuff or whatever, right? We kind of, and he's been a clean cut guy for the most part. It wasn't until Bad Boys he started doing really gully stuff type stuff. That just wasn't his character. But people like Will. So naturally, you know what I'm saying, when this happened with Chris Rock, everybody's not a fan of Chris Rock. I think people need to understand that too. A lot of people didn't feel sorry for Chris Rock when he got slapped. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's no shade to Chris Rock, but that's just kind of the truth. A lot of people don't like Chris Rock. And so it happened. It was unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened, right? And at the same time, it's kind of okay. But yeah, it is what it is. He did, trust and believe, Will Smith took a hit, but he's starting to come back and he's doing, because he did, you gotta understand how he's strategized his way back. People forget that he did the Emancipation movie, which was an Apple Plus movie. It was an independent, low key. And you have to have Apple Plus to see it, right? So he steady was working while this was all going on. He went on his apology tour with certain things. He went away from the movie stuff and did a podcast, Class of '88. I recommend that you go check that out because it's pretty dope. Class of '88 is where he interviewed a lot of hip hop artists from 1988, with some saying it's the golden age of hip hop. He did that. He began to, strike a chord with people again when he was doing that. He was doing the stuff away from the films or whatever. He literally went away without going away, if that makes sense. So he did all of this stuff, and then of course he can come back now, and it's like, boom, we back in action. Because the Bad Boys for Life stuff, I really wasn't checking for it at the time because it was like bad timing or whatever. But now we kind of got that out the system or whatever. They decided to reload, and here they are. So Gordon Mahoney says, I picked up some Mark Bright goodness this weekend. That's what's up. That's what's up. Now let's see. Jerry Goodwin was there, and I saw very few folks visit the state, which is funny because X-Men 35 came out early this week. Well, you know what? Shout out to everybody that went out and bought that book, that $8 book, as an $8 book. And it's Legacy X-Men 35, but it's actually, the legacy number is 700. So it's a significant book. It's the restart. It's the relaunch, I should say. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the X-Men. C. Cole said John Boy's Mind had Optimus Prime printed, sold out in 5 minutes. The folks who published Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer, and Black Noir were there, so those books were being promoted. Okay, man, I missed out. Brooklyn said Rich was applauding when Will Smith snaps. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't, man. I was not doing that. You're not gonna put that on me. I was in shock, like everybody. I was in shock, like everybody. I didn't see it live, but I remember watching it after people were talking about it, and for him to just get up, roll up on old boy, and again, I can't trip. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you what I did say to myself. He didn't pick on somebody his own size. I think that would have went differently if it was somebody his size. You gotta remember, Will is over 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. Chris Rock, little dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's the equivalent of a heavyweight smacking a middleweight or a bantamweight. You know what I'm saying? Come on. I couldn't get a chuckle out of that. I was just shocked that he did that. Like he committed an assault live on TV. Wow. 101 podcast said Class of '88 was fire. It was. It was. Seacoast said, I'm not paying $8 for X-Men 700 that Midtime Comics will have for 75% off for 6 months. Yeah, you're right. I'm not even sure. I think I saw one Storm variant, I believe, but I hadn't seen a whole lot of variants. And I'm pretty sure that there are a few, but I did see one Storm variant I think people were going kind of crazy for. He said if The Rock had talked up about Jada, he would have run up and shook his hand. That's funny. I tell you what I said, people get slapped every day, B. Shout out to Amir. Yeah, man. You play a stupid game, you might win a stupid prize. Yep. So, I don't know, man. I do not know. Stuff is crazy. Mr. DC Comics, what's happening? Oh, what we got going on now? But I mean, again, shout out to Will Smith, got his career back. He's back #1 at the box office. It's Jada's got a little bit more money to spend. So he like it, I love it. That's all I can say. Yeah. So what else we got going on, y'all? Oh man, I hate I missed the con, man. I went last year. He said, yeah, Philadelphia did get pushed back. I went last year to the Dallas Dallas fan days, whatever. Somebody give me the score on the game. That's what I need. What's the score on the game? I'm tripping. I'm sitting there running my mouth with y'all, and there's a game on. At this point, it might be over. Who winning? Anybody watching the game? Seco said, I did see a ton of Miles Morales, more than any other Marvel character cosplay at Fan Expo. What was odd is I did not see a single DC Comics cosplay, unless you want them to count static. And well, you can. Yeah, let me keep my mouth closed about Milestone. I've been warned by management to not talk about Milestone. All right. 89.97. Ooh. That's a shame. Wonder what. Okay. Huh. Has anybody read Schlub? I have not. Have not read Schlub. King Signal says we need more Milestone. Love their reboot. You mean their reboot? That's what I call it. But we have on good authority that Milestone is soon to return. But that's what we hear. We hear that Milestone is soon to return. But I'm like, man, y'all need to put something out there, get the people excited about something. Because here's the thing about me. The thing about me is, okay, if they make the announcement that they're putting a certain book out, give the Milestone fans something to talk about. Because we really literally don't have anything to talk about. I take it back. We do have something to talk about. We do have something to talk about, Milestone. But I don't want to shade y'all tonight. I don't want to shade y'all tonight. MD Bright, icon artist, was finally acknowledged and honored by DC in this past week's book. On the very last page of the comic book. Very last page of the book. This is the Batman book. All right. This is the last page of the book. That's the page. Remembering an icon on the last page of the book. Better late than never, I guess. So in Milestone, when you do return, I'd better see an MD Bright tribute. You've been put on notice. You've been put on notice. I better see an MD Bright tribute. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest with you. I better see an MD Bright tribute before I see a Milestone comic book. Because we ain't heard from y'all. And we need to hear from y'all, respectfully. So yeah. He said only one book. No, it should be all the DC books that came out. However, the DC regular books, it's not going to be. They're not in the DC Black labels or whatever. But all the DC books should have the tribute in them. But that was Batman. So if it's in the Batman book, it's probably in all the regular traditional DC comic books. One on the podcast, I'm really enjoying the Ultimate Universe right now. Yeah, the Ultimate Universe is fire. Don't know how long we're gonna have it, but shout out to all the Black Panther fans. Lords of Mercy. If Trump wins, they have an automatic hit if they push a Trump supporting icon with the liberal rocket as a sidekick. Stop. We're not doing no politics tonight. Especially with that joker. No, we're not doing that. Oh, Gordon Mahan says the Brooklyn Comic Cinematic was all that was this weekend. Several main black independent publishers was there. Wish I could have been there. Yep. Marvin Monroe says I've been reached. Love. Philip Bourne says looking forward to meeting Rodney Barnes this weekend at HeroCon in Charlotte, taking Philadelphia #1 and Marlite 1 to be signed. Yes, that's what's up. That's what's up. In Marvel books, it's normally at the front or the middle. Well, we haven't seen an MD Bright tribute from Marvel yet. We still waiting on that. We still got the hashtag up, where's the Mark D. Bright tribute? We still got that going. We still got that going. So, yeah. C. Cole says, I did see an improvement by artists say there are more black hero prints for sale. Storm, while she did not have the most, Miles won that honor. She had about 4 different ones, and they were solo ones. Okay. Hold up, Bruce. So you have those. You have the disclaimer for those moments. Oh, man. I know. I know, my brother. I know. Anywho, look, I'll be happy when Milestone does return. It's been a minute, and you know, the books from when they were out, the Static Shadows of Dakota was pretty good. It was my favorite of the season 2 stuff. The Icon versus Hardware, I think that would have fared better as a trade, only because the way it came out, it's not like everybody was just hanging on waiting for the next issue, because they were literally putting this book out like nearly like every 6 weeks or something, or 8 weeks or whatever it was. But it was not a on-time book, and it was frustrating. I couldn't even really talk about the book because you literally have to go back and reread the book to remember what was in the issue to discuss it with people. That was very frustrating for me. Rich is rewatching Will Smith's Technique before he meets Marvel execs if they don't want. Hey, bro, I just need them to do right by the brother. That's it. You know what I'm saying? MD Bright did a lot of he did a lot of Iron Man books, right? And the first, I talked about it on the show last week. First MD Bright Marvel book was Avengers 224. One of the first characters in that book that he drew on the first page of that book was Iron Man, an Avengers book. So my thing is, this guy's did a lot for your company. What are you doing? I just want them to do right by the brother. Some people have said to us, well, we shouldn't expect these good white people to do what we should do. We've done that part. We have honored MD Bright. What we're doing is holding them accountable. He worked for your company. He made your company money. Okay? We're not asking for anything that isn't proper. If you can honor George Perez, you can honor John Romita Sr., you can honor MD Bright. Who is the artist on Armor Wars? That's a good question. Paul may know the answer to that question. Oh, he's asking that question. Who is the artist on Armor Wars? That's a good question. Let's look it up. I hate Google because Google then puts up stuff. Oh, MD Bright. Yeah. Like you said, it made him some bread. Rich, what is that? What's on your shirt? Okay, so the shirt itself that you're looking at is top 5 shirt. And basically, hip hop is your top 5. Who's your top 5 MCs, whatever. But there's a company that does these shirts, top 5 shirts, whatever. And so this is not a hip hop shirt. These are my top 5 artists whose letter begins with H. I'm from Houston, so it's a Houston vibe, really. But since I'm from Houston, I wanted a shirt that had all the artists whose last name was H. So of course at the top is Jimi Hendrix. The next one is Gil Scott-Heron. The next one is Phyllis Hyman. Below that, I'll have to stand up just for you to see it. Is Isaac Hayes. And then there's Billie Holiday. So yeah, that's what that is, bro. Mr. DC's gearing up for a major reboot and everything after Absolute Power doing the new Superman movie. Well, I hope they have some, Thank you, Mr. DC. Because I can mention, I hope they do something with my man, Jefferson Pierce, Black Lightning. It has been over 6 years since Jefferson Pierce has appeared in his own self-titled book. And DC, I need you to do right by my mans, okay? Put my brother in a book, please. Kofi says, all we have to do is make sure we honor him. Black Book should do a variant run for him. And you know what? That's a good thing. But as I said to someone privately, we can't police. If Black comic book companies want to honor MD Bright, they should. But am I expecting them to do that? No. And here's the reason why I'm not expecting them to do that. Because many of these guys don't know who MD Bright is. If I'm gonna keep it a stack. Some of them know. But do all of them know? No. No. MD Bright's an old school dude from back in the day. And I can't put that on them like that. It would be a nice gesture. It would be nice to see any of these. I don't even want to name names, but it would be nice to see some of y'all who are in this, who have comic book companies, to do a variant in tribute to MD Bright. That would be cool. But am I just asking you to do something no, I'm not going to ask you to do that because I don't, that's not, I would say, decent and in order. Black comic lords can honor MD Bright because we're fans of his work. We can honor him in that way. We can even work with comic book companies and do variants that would give tribute to MD Bright. We could do something like that. But, asking these guys to do certain things, it's just like when Tom McFarlane did the Spawn cover in tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Some people feel some type of way about that. And I understand why they felt that way about that. However, I looked more of it, he didn't have to do it. That's how I saw the positive of it. He didn't have to do it, but he chose to do it. He chose to take his brand and give tribute to someone he admired. And I was good with that. I was good with that. And and here's the truth of the matter. Marvel did their own tribute, do the movies or whatever, but he was the only one that did it on a comic book level. Anybody else know who did? I'll wait. C-Code says Bright did almost 200 to 230. yo, was there a Hathaway on your shirt? No, there was not a Hathaway on my shirt. I couldn't put Donny Hathaway on the shirt. I missed that one. I mean, I'm a Donny Hathaway fan. I love Donny Hathaway. But here's the thing: Jimi Hendrix is my favorite rock guitarist. Gil Scott-Heron is my favorite spoken word poet artist. Isaac Hayes is my favorite R&B soul artist. Who else I have on here? I'm tripping. Billie Holiday is one of my favorite jazz artists. So that's kind of how that went. Phyllis Hyman is not my favorite singer, but I do love her music. I've always loved her music. I really think she didn't get the accolades that she should have gotten when she was doing her thing before she deleted herself. So yeah. But I do love Donny Hathaway. Little Ghetto Boy is one of my favorite songs. Little Ghetto Boy, Young, Gifted, and Black. Our Song, or A Song for You, I should say. Another one of my favorite Donny Hathaway songs. Yeah. Yeah, this is why teaching the history is important, because I'm a new comic book reader and I didn't know him. Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? We recognize that everybody doesn't know. That's why I can't really charge everybody up. You know, as far as like y'all should do this or y'all need to do that. I can't. Those words cannot come out my mouth because again, I understand the time frame. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I can't expect the new school artists to like honor Tupac. You went around. That doesn't make a lot of sense. What I want you to know the history, absolutely. But somebody's got to teach the history. So that's Black Comic Lords in this regard, and everybody else can kind of gather some info from that vantage point and do their own research. But you know, it would be cool, but I ain't tripping either way. I will never believe that Hathaway took his own life the way they describe. Well, you know, bro, it's certain musicians and artists have an air about them that just really. I mean, I think Sam Cooke was another one. We know certain things, but certain things, why he was killed, and this kind of thing it's a lot that be going on in the Matrix, y'all. Night Watch said, I respect that, bro. That's still a dope top 5. That's what's up. And again, like I said, I wanted something when I did the shirt. I wanted something different. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, it's just like Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes is my favorite R&B artist. And I may have shared this tale, but I used to, when I was a little boy, I lived in Houston, right? And I would go visit my grandmother who lived in Lubbock. And Lubbock is up in the panhandle of Texas. This is literally like a 10-hour drive. And this is back in the day. My father had a 1972 Catalina, black Catalina, Pontiac. They don't even make them no more. Well, they don't even make Pontiacs anymore, I don't think. But he had this long black car, had an 8-track player in it. And he played Isaac Hayes all the way there. Now, on an 8-track, you gotta understand back in the day, 8-tracks had like maybe 10 songs, 8 songs on them. But these are Isaac Hayes songs. Isaac Hayes songs are long, okay? Average Isaac Hayes songs about 7-8 minutes. So there are Isaac Hayes songs almost, matter of fact, by the time I get to Phoenix, on the original LP is like 18 minutes, 38 seconds. So these are long songs, and we would take this trip to Lubbock, 10 hours, and I would hear that album, Hot Buttered Soul, the Isaac Hayes Experience. I would hear these 2 8-tracks, and they were in my head for years. And so I loved that music. It's in me. It's like DNA almost. I cannot dislike Isaac Hayes. The same way with Al Green. Al Green was another artist. My grandmother she would drink Milwaukee Best and listen to Al Green 45s all day, every day. And that's just kind of how my grandmother was. But that was her guy. Al Green was a guy. So as I grew up, Al Green became my guy as well. But I've had that experience around different types of music. And, for whatever it is, there's always a story behind it. So the artists that I do love, generally there's always a story behind them. Yeah. Kalega says, my dad had a 73 Pontiac Fury with an 8-track player. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's back. Hot Buttered Soul is one of my Desert Island albums. Yeah, that's man. Yep. Yes, indeed. I mean, Walk On By, which is really a Dionne Warwick song, and I think she may have covered it from somebody else. But when Isaac Hayes got a hold of that song, Walk On By, I'm like, there's nothing like it in music. Nothing. By the time I get to Arizona by P, should have been on that Drive playlist. Well, the weird thing about that is the by the time I get to Phoenix song by Isaac Hayes, it's a cover. It's not even an original song, but Burt Bacharach, famous artist, wrote that song. He just took it to Soulsville, which is what he would say. And you got to understand something about him. I mean, about Isaac Hayes. Isaac Hayes was a Memphis dude. He made he got his start or his accolades in Memphis. And so, because he was a part of Stack Records. And so there's a documentary coming out pretty soon. It's going to talk about that. But if you guys ever get a chance to go to Memphis, go to the Stax Museum in Memphis. You will not be disappointed. A lot of the stuff, a lot of Isaac Hayes memorabilia, among other things. But you get to see, he had a Cadillac, chromed out in gold. Amazing. Bad. Yeah. And from what I understand, I think he's like one of the first artists to have a platinum record, a platinum album. Isaac Hayes. Yeah. K Jr., Isaac Hayes album, Unfolded into a Cross. Dope. Yeah, that's Black Moses. That's that album, Black Moses. That's a pretty good album. It's not the best Isaac Hayes album in my opinion, but it's a pretty dope album. It's got one of my favorite, another cover, Going in Circles. Now, the Gap Band had a song, they did a cover of that song, Going in Circles, but Isaac Hayes kind of did the one before. That's on that album. It's pretty dope. So, yeah. That's for sure. One podcast said Chadwick's name on the front cover of the books. They had a portrait of him on the last page. Yeah. My mom had the Watch Stats album. Yeah. Man, I've been looking for the original poster. I'm looking for the original poster of Wattstax. I've seen Amir, and if Amir, if you have not seen Wattstax, you want to hunt that down, my brother. You would enjoy that concert. Bacharach wrote Walk On By as well. Yeah, that's he wrote that too for sure. But he he had an ear for certain things or whatever, and he would take them and he would just do them his way. He was that gifted. Now one of my favorite Isaac Hayes albums is the album he did, the Live in Tahoe album. He did a song called Windows of the World. Man, that's a bad song. That is a bad song. Ooh, I love that song. But he did a live album, and that's one of my favorite albums. I might listen to that after I even get off here. But yeah, so the Friends of Distinction did the original Going in Circles. Yep. Nightwatch says I'd have to do the letter S for my city. So I guess my top 5 would be Stevie, Sam, Slash, Slide, Sade. That's a good list. Man, I love some Sly Stone. I love some Sly Stone. Love some Sly Stone. So I think I've seen that concert, the Barcades toured up. Yeah, that's the one. Matter of fact, it's in that documentary where P.E. sampled a phrase, "Freedom is seldom traveled by the multitude." That's from that documentary, Watch Stacks. When they did their Public Enemy album, I think it was the Takes a Nation of Millions. But the Barcades, they tore it up. Isaac Hayes did a lot of work with the Barcades too, matter of fact. Yeah. I was online chatting up with one of the collectors. Shout out to my man Rico Jones. We were talking online briefly about this particular website put out the top 300 albums, and the number 1 album on that list was Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder. There was a lot of rock, a little bit of jazz, which sparked our discussion because I think it was John Coltrane's "The Love Supreme" was like number 35 on the list. We were discussing how it should have been much higher. And in fact, I didn't even see Miles Davis had one album on there, was Bitches Brew. But I think that wasn't the album that should have even been on that list. The album that should have been on that list was Kinda Blue. It's my favorite Miles Davis album, but that album there should have been there. I mean, Bitches Brew is a good album, you know what I'm saying? It's a little different. It was in Miles doing his experimentation type stuff. But Kinda Blue is just like pure jazz. Pure jazz. Straight, no chaser. You know what I'm saying? No pop to it, no melodic, just straight jazz. That and John Coltrane's Love Supreme. Those 2 albums, as far as jazz, just incredible. That's all I can say. I listen to Kinda Blue when people at work piss me off. Yeah, it'll calm you down. It'll put you in the right frame of mind. Yeah. Yes, indeed. No doubt. So look, y'all, we're going to go ahead and chop it up. Thanks for hanging out with your boy. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. Thank you guys for hanging out with me, man. We will be back Wednesday night with the Wednesday wrap-up. Not sure what's going on as far as an interview or that kind of thing, but stay tuned. And while we're here, we want to mention in August of 17th and 18th, Atlantic Comic-Con, where we'll be in Norfolk, Virginia, with the good people out there on the East Coast. We're going to be chopping it up. Black Comic Lords will be out there moderating panel. and we'll just be hanging out, having a good time for a couple of days. So we're looking forward to seeing you out there. So we keep coming to you guys with this because it's going to be pretty awesome, man. It's not going to suck. I'm telling you, you're going to enjoy it. So shout out to Deron Flood over at Blurred Core and Greg Burnham for doing their thing, making this happen. So we're going to have a good old fashioned time. And yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing some of you guys. So we want to see your face in the place. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to be there. We're making the trip. So it's going to cost a little coin, but we're going to get out there. Please continue to support the channel. Continue to share with your friends the good work that we're doing. Like the video. Send us an email. If you have somebody that you want us to interview or you have some suggestions, some criticisms, you know, we got thick skin but tender hearts. It's all good. Either way, I'm going to hit you with the benediction, and the benediction is this simply. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever believeth in him will not perish but have everlasting life. From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich. Until next time, we say peace. Take care of yourselves. Love you, man. We out. Any day now. What's Paul doing? Paul, where you at? Paul done left me hanging, y'all. This is what happens when you don't have when your regular producer is not available. Where is he at? He just, I guess we're here until he gets back, y'all. Peace, y'all. This is hilarious. Good help is so hard to find. He just stepped away and he went to the somebody text Paul, hey, you go to the John. Oh, see, I'm telling y'all, that's why we need y'all support. We really running this thing with duct tape and prayers.
Hey, this is Jeff Carroll. I'm out here at the Black Comic Book Fest in Harlem, sharing my books and works with the Black Comic Lords. And one of the books that I have just came out is Fingernails, Book 2. It's a paranormal investigator thing, Scooby-Doo. And it's a girl that changes into a gargoyle. And she shows that all ghosts aren't bad. So she takes on different ghosts. In this one, she's dealing with ghosts in the projects. So I have a variety of titles. I have the Harlem, the Horror Shake series, which I've explored different short fiction stories. And what I do have coming out is in August. This will be in previews in July. The Last Harlem Night takes place in a post-apocalyptic New York City, manga style, inspired by the series, the movie Akira. So please check me out. This is going to be in comic book stores. My name is Jeff Carroll. You can check me online, Instagram, or Facebook. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Everything's
Yo, here we go. Atlantic Comic Con 2024. We're going to be in the building. So y'all come hang out with us. So got another scripture. I do, actually. I told you. Good help is so hard to find. But anyway, we're going to be out there, guys. Y'all come hang out with us. And I promise you, it's going to be a good time. And we're going to dig in some boxes and we're going to watch some cosplay and just hang out. You know what I'm saying? One of the things I'm looking forward to when I go out there is breaking bread with some of my fellow collectors and just being able to sit across the table and share a meal and just chop it up. You know what I'm saying? And I plan to get no sleep these 2 days, which is why I'm probably going to stay until Monday. I'm probably going to fly out Monday versus Sunday. But I plan to literally be up for 2 days, just hanging out and having a good time. Now I'm saying that, but it might go different because I ain't no spring chicken. So, but if I'm up active, hanging out with people, I'm gonna try to hang in there and just chop it up. So, but we're gonna have a good time, guys. So we want you guys to come hang out with us. So, with that being said, let me give the re-benediction. The re-benediction is Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, verse number 11. And this I say because I have planned for you. I have good plans for you. I don't plan to hurt you. I plan to give you hope and a good future. From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords to Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich, again, saying peace. We'll catch you later, man. See you Wednesday night. We out.